Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and this is the season finale of Stargirl, Season 1, Episode 13, Stars and Stripe, Part 2. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, you're going to see a video pop up at the very end here. And what that does is YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. One of the videos in my vast video library just for you. Up here is going to be Saturday Morning Blast Off, is what's going to be up there. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you get the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule. I post it up there every week. And also, I have the links to all my social media. So Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, no tier said on the Patreon. And I also have links to this YouTube page, my Facebook page, and a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. All right. With that said, spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you haven't seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video you can comment down below in the comment section. All right. So we had the second half of this, and yeah, CG wasn't great on some of the stuff, but let's get to the story part of it. We have the adults being enthralled by Brainwave and whatever his, mind writing thing, rewriting thing is going on. And of course, the JSA is going in there and trying to stop them, of course. And we left off pretty much, we started off where we left off last episode with Pat being taken over by Brainwave, being used as a puppet. And he's fighting Courtney at this point. And she basically calls him, uh, her dad, that she's his daughter and all that stuff. And it kind of gets through to him and he starts, fighting it. And we see blood coming out of his ear. We actually saw one person die, a teacher die out of all of this. And yeah, I'm trying to there's some stuff that was really bad in this episode, and there's other stuff that was reasonably good. Let me get to the bad stuff first. How about that? We'll do that there, and then we'll go to the good stuff. We'll do the bad first and the good. So the bad is some of the ridiculous deaths, I guess you can say, and also, Wildcat basically telling Our Man, she goes, "You can't kill anybody." Then about 3 minutes later, she rips out Brainwave's throat, and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, so that's right there, yeah." And then the whole Solomon Grundy CGI thing where he just keeps it looks like his skin kept moving even though he was not moving, and, it was just very disturbing to me on that one. Um, so, yeah, and then, of course, the whole Icicle death too. Is he dead? We don't know for sure, but, Mike pulling up in the truck and hitting Icicle and breaking him into pieces, and immediately with the punchline, "Can I be in the JSA now?" Ba-dum-bum, tss. And I was like, "Oh, wow." That was bad. That was kind of a stinker. I mean, you could start seeing the CW writers starting to set up shop already, in the writing room, especially with that line, what was it Courtney said to Icicle? Something about, "You can't make America better because of all the hate you have inside you." I mean, I don't know about you guys. I started laughing 'cause, it was just a bad line. I mean, it was a really, really, really bad line, and I couldn't take it seriously. But, okay, so that's the bad stuff. Well, we're gonna put that aside for right now. Then we have the good stuff. Oh, and one more bad thing, by the way. The, like, what was it? The Lord of the Ring ending, so we had multiple endings going on. But yeah, let's go back now to the good stuff. So speaking of those endings, we finally get to see the shade, or at least the mist of the shade coming in. And he's kind of pissed over, at Icicle trying his thing. He's like, "I told you it wouldn't work." Ha ha ha. And if you have the subtitles on, by the way, on DC Universe, it attributes the name, the voice to the gambler and not to the Shade, which was kind of a weird thing. But yeah, I don't know why they were doing that, but maybe they just goofed up a little bit. And then, of course, Cindy or Shiv, rummaging through the magician's, I guess, closet, if you will, or storage unit, and finding the Eclipso glass shard or crystal shard that has Eclipso in it. Who is Eclipso, you might ask? Eclipso is basically the first Spectre. And if you know your DC Comics lore, Spectre is kind of like a spirit of vengeance, if you will. But Eclipso turned evil and so was replaced by the Spectre. Is what was going on there. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know how these kids are going to come up against Eclipso in the second season because they were kind of outmatched here and just won uh, fairly much by luck at that point. Philip A. Demick says they introduced Brainwave as being about to go toe to toe with Stargirl. They ended by having him use illusion to trick Wildcat instead of straight up reading her mind and attacking. Yeah, exactly. I don't know why they did that either. That was another bad thing. Yes, thank you, Philip A. Demick. Is the way Brainwave was so easily taken out. Because I went back and just rewatched the very beginning of the first episode, uh, with that fight with the JSA, with the real JSA in the beginning, and Brainwave is holding his own against Starman for a while there, and Starman has to kind of punch it through in order to knock him down. And yeah, how he decided to use illusion in order to trick Wildcat, and then what was he going to do? Was he going to take over her mind? What was his end game at that point? I mean, this is Brainwave. We're talking about this guy who kills people for fun, I guess you could say. And yeah, he was toying with her. I don't know. It just didn't seem right. Or maybe he was just taxed out at that point because he had been hooked up to the machine. I don't know. But if you're that taxed out, why use illusion to, yeah. Anyway, the less said about that, the better. And then of course we have Starman, or maybe Starman, Sylvester Pembleton coming in at the very, very end of one of the multiple endings, and he's looking for, Pat back in Hollywood. And of course, Pat has moved at this point. So yeah, and um, sad to see that Dr. Midnight or Chuck, the goggles have been broken. We don't know what's going to happen, and especially now, what's going to happen with Beth, because Beth was their, Google goggles, and now she's not. Is she just going to sit at home on the computer and look stuff up via Google and see if she can find stuff? I don't know. We'll see what's going to happen next season with that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. This episode wasn't how things started off. Again, going back and looking at episode one and seeing how good that started, and then seeing the last episode, and just kind of wondering, how things are going to work out. And I mean, it seemed kind of rushed. The ending here was kind of wrapped up a little bit quickly, a little too cleanly in some respects. And I mean, you still have the gambler still alive. Sportsmaster and Tigress, I guess, are still alive. I don't know why they didn't go back into the tunnels and arrest them, or in the other CW shows, the Arrowverse, I guess you can say, the Flash has, the ring that they use as a prison, and they also have the Argus prison as well, which is used in Arrow. So what does Blue Valley have? What does Stargirl have? Or do they have a prison for supervillains? At this point, we don't know for sure. So yeah. So what's my rating on this one? I'll give it a 7 out of 10. How about that? Didn't quite stick the landing, but it wasn't that sucky. Just for the mention of Eclipso and having the Shade in there, and yeah, and the surprise of Starman coming back. But Oh, and also Shining Knight. He never got his memory back, or yeah, it just seemed kind of weird that, he made a big deal about needing to go back and grab onto the staff, and he didn't, and didn't get his memory back. So what the hell was that all about? I mean, you make a big deal about it in one of the episodes, and then you don't follow through on it. So it's, yeah, complete the arc on that one. That's all you need to do. It's very easy to do. Philip A. Demick says, yeah, it was like we were going to do some more episodes to explain things, but we had to cut things short. They had 13 episodes, man. They had plenty of room to do stuff in there. Yeah. Oh, 7 out of 10 isn't too bad. Probably better than you would have predicted before the series began. Uh, yeah, I guess so. I mean, where does it fall in line with the other CW series? I'm actually reviewing it versus the other CW series, which I'm not reviewing for good reason, because they aren't worth reviewing at that point. And DC Universe is most likely not going to be around by December here. So I'm going to be talking about this on Saturday, but I'll give you a little preview right now. There was some bloodletting that happened in the Warner Brothers area over the weekend, and they're consolidating things. They being AT&T under the umbrella of Warner Media. So a lot of people have gotten fired. I believe there's 600 jobs that are going at DC or DC related, uh, and 170 some odd at Warner Brothers as well. And yeah, it's happening. And there has been no mention of DC Universe continuing. There was a letter that went out from the head of Warner Brothers, the new head of Warner Brothers, and yeah, there's been no mention of DC Universe in any of that, which really sucks, because DC Universe actually is good versus HBO Max, which most likely this is what DC Universe is going to be absorbed into, is HBO Max. They are focusing everything on HBO Max right now, just so you know. That's where everything is going. It's HBO Max. And hopefully they fucking start streaming some of the stuff in 4K on HBO Max, because they need to do that. Especially if you're charging $15 a month versus, what was it, $8 a month for DC Universe, which was streaming stuff in 8K like this, or excuse me, in 4K. Yeah, it really needs to happen. Man, yeah, don't get me started on that part. So yeah, decent, characters, stories. But yeah, it just needed a little bit more oomph to it. I don't know. There was something that was missing from this. Maybe I'm just old. Maybe I'm too cynical. Uh, I don't know. But yeah, there's some stuff that was off on this series for me. So there you have it. Well, with that said, what else do I have going on this week? Tomorrow is another episode of Is It Worth My Time? I don't know what I'm doing as of yet. I'm still on the fence about some stuff. I will probably figure it out later on tonight here and update my schedule at this point. Um, Wednesday, I'm going to be off on Wednesday. Thursday, I'm going to be off on Thursday too. I know, back to back off days, and Friday. So it's going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm off. And then I return on on Saturday for Saturday morning blast off. And then Sunday, I'm going to start Lovecraft Country. That's right, Lovecraft Country. So that's on HBO for those of you playing at home. So I'll be covering that Monday. Now that there's nothing there, I might be doing a couple of Is It Worth My Times next week. I might be doing 2 of those there. We'll find out. I'll put it in the schedule, so you'll see it, as Penn says there. Keep an eye out in the schedule. Not enough hallways for me. No, there weren't enough Well, there actually were quite a few hallways in that final episode. They were fighting in hallways, and yeah. And the other thing that got me too was about this episode. I almost forgot here. Icicle, right? So Icicle has no problem killing children. We've seen this. I mean, he killed the magician's kid with not even a blink of an eye. He has no problem killing people. Yet Beth, what did he do? He froze the goggles and then he just threw her against the wall instead of killing her. Um, when he had the chance, and then he grabs Barbara and takes her. And then he's gonna kill Barbara, you know, up on the roof. And I'm like, can you, find a happy medium someplace here as to what you're gonna do? So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Lovecraft Country does look interesting. I'm hearing wildly different things all over from about it, and some people saying it sucks, some people are saying it's great. So it's going back and forth between the two, and who knows? We'll find out on Sunday. Remember, I have a 4 episode rule. If I can't get through 4 episodes in a row without being completely negative about it, then I cancel my reviews of it and I have to find something else. Yes, it is self imposed, but still, it's better than just being negative about shit all the time. We get enough of that everywhere else. So, Philip says, I like the show as a whole. However, the finale seemed to plot points were done for the feels instead of overcoming a complex challenge. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I did like Our Man's resolution on his thing, that was good. He did have a good resolution. Um, but yeah, Yolanda's thing with, now having to come to terms with killing somebody after she was, adamant about not killing. We'll see where that goes. And Cindy killing, her father, Dragon King, she had no qualms about that. She's been wanting to do that for a while now. She has picked her opportunity. And how easy was it for her to kill him? I mean, she just ran her shiv through his chest. That was it. You would think with a guy named Dragon King who's been around this long that he would have either some armor on or that, some kind of ability where he could heal, or I don't know. It just seemed like they took him out a little too easy. Yeah, I would say that's probably the best arc out of all of this. Penn was Our Man kind of letting go of, Grundy and all that stuff. That was actually the most natural feeling thing out of this series, out of this finale, and kind of the best thing out of it too. I mean, there was some stuff in it that was really kind of forced, like I said, and the other stuff that just played bad and just needed a couple more passes of the pen and the editor to go through and redo things. So, with that said, thank you everybody who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. And yes, I know I'm going to hear about it in the chat later on in the comment section down below. You can leave your comments down below. I understand. And no, I'm not doing homework. You know who you are out there. So, um, what else is going on? Remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that's going on up here. And if you like that, hit the subscribe button down below there. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you get the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com, as Penn already has up in the chat there, and take a look at the schedule. I change it out every week. Also, all the links to my social media are in there, and all links to the Facebook page and a Facebook group page. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks, everybody. I'm gonna let you guys go for the night. So until next time, well, what is that next time? Tomorrow. Is it worth my time? That's what's gonna be on tomorrow. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may find out that even though you've warned somebody not to kill somebody, that you're gonna kill somebody just on the spur of the moment because, hey, why not? Thanks, everybody. By the way, don't kill anybody. It's just not worth it. Thanks, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Until then, have a good rest of your night. Take care, stay safe, and be well. See you, everybody. Good night.